Thousands of pilots may have lied about their medical records.
Yeah, this doesn't look good. And the Washington Post reports that nearly 5,000 pilots, all of whom are military veterans, allegedly hid serious health conditions that could have made them unfit to fly. Dre Clark is live in New York with more from this really bombshell report. Hey, Dre.
Yeah, good morning, guys. You know, when you fly, you place your trust into the hands of the flight crew, believing they will get you to your destination safely between takeoff and touchdown. But now the Washington Post investigation has revealed that close to 5,000 pilots, many of them working for major airlines, have been flying and lying about their mental and physical health conditions. And the Post maintains the FAA has known about this for years, but only recently has it taken action. The pilots under investigation are military veterans who are accused of omitting or submitting incorrect and false information about medical conditions to the Federal Aviation Administration, conditions that could negatively impact their qualifications for flying. The FAA says after working with the Veterans Administration, it determined that just under 4,800 of the more than 600,000 certified pilots in the country are in question. An anonymous U.S. official familiar with the investigation telling the Washington Post about 600 of the pilots under investigation are licensed to fly for passenger airlines.
Like any other high-performing industry and occupation, pilots are a lot of times very concerned about seeking medical care when they need it because they are worried that it could reflect on something like a medical certification, which they need for their livelihood.
The Post investigation uncovering the pilots told the FAA they're healthy enough to fly, yet they failed to report, as required by law, that they were also collecting veterans' benefits for disabilities that could bar them from the cockpit.
And of those 600, the majority were cleared by the FAA to continue flying. So there's only, I think, a small 60 of them that actually had ramifications that way.
The FAA saying those 60 pilots posed a clear danger to aviation safety and they should cease flying while their records are under review. The majority of remaining pilots with open cases can continue flying while the FAA looks into their paperwork. The federal agency also telling NewsNation the FAA has been transparent with the public on our work. Finally, any veteran who may have a disqualifying condition has been told they cannot fly. There are many disabilities that a pilot could have and still be able to fly. Commercial pilots are given extensive routine medical checks, examining their eyesight, hearing, blood pressure, urine testing, cognitive skills, and signs of any mental disorders. But the examinations are allegedly quick, 5 or 10 minutes in some cases, and pilots are allowed to self-report their medical history in paperwork.
So ever since the process began, the FAA has worked off of we expect you to honestly report your history. So this is nothing new that we're finding that people didn't report their history.
And that doctor you just heard from says he doesn't want to stigmatize these veteran pilots because he says it happens far more often on the civilian side, that is, pilots hiding their medical history. He says one way of stopping this from happening is to give those medical examiners full access to both medical and medication records and not just rely solely on the honesty of those pilots. Marquis?